Hi, I'm Larry Puckett. Back in September or October of last year, I did a video review of the new Hattons Genesis coaches. And one of the things that I commented on was the fact that I was surprised they didn't provide any type of close coupling for these, because they do sit kind of far apart due to the tension lock couplers that come standard. And they just don't look quite as good as the prototypes did. So when I was at the Worley National Model Railway exhibition in November, one of the things that I was looking for was some sort of close coupling device that would do a much better job than the tension locks. So today I want to share with you what I found, and I'll also show you how it works with the Hornby coaches of this same design. So let's get started. Before we go on, I want to ask you to take a moment to hit that little red subscribe button, and when the little bell comes up, click on it and click all. Thanks now. Okay, I've moved in quite close so I can show you the different approaches or different methods for coupling these coaches up. So this is the standard configuration using the tension lock couplers that are so common on UK prototype models. And as you can see, it's got quite a gap here between the buffers. So normally in use, those would have been right up against one another. Here, they're separated quite a bit. And the reason for that is they have to be able to go around a number 2 curve. And that is something that's pretty much standard for a lot of models produced for the UK market. However, it does not look all that good prototypically. So if you have a lot of very tight curves on your model layout, you might want to stick with the tension locks. Now, one of the things I think I mentioned in the review was I use KD couplers on most of my rolling stock. Now, this is using a standard number 18 KD coupler in the NEM pockets. And you can see here, they are so close together that the buffers actually tap before the couplers can even connect up. Now, it is possible to connect them, as you can see right there. They are coupled together, and that's about a prototypical appearance. So if you're on a straight and level track, it's not going to be a problem for you. However, going through a turnout or around a sharp curve, these cars are going to derail. And I tested that. These will not even go around the 36-inch radius curves on my HO scale layout. So this is not something that you're going to want to do. If you're going to be using KD couplers on your coaches, I would recommend that you're probably going to need to go out to a number 19 or maybe even a number 20 to get sufficient spacing for these to go around your curves. So be aware of that if you decide you want to use KD couplers. Let's move this up and I'll show you what I came up with. Now right in here you can see these are fairly close coupled together. I can't get this paintbrush in here. What I have here is called a Hunt coupler, and it's produced by West Hill Wagon Works in the UK, and their website is westhillwagonworks.co.uk. So you can go there and take a look at these. But you can see that with their close coupling couplers, they are a little bit too tight for probably a number 2. They will go around my 36-inch radius curves without any problem. And the reason I settled on these was at Worley, West Hill Wagon Works had a stand set up, and Mr. Hunt was there. He's the owner of the company, I assume, and he was there, and I asked him which would be the best fit. So we walked around the corner to the Hattons stand, and they had these on display. So he took a look and suggested that I use this coupling right here. So that's what they call their close coupling. The Hunt couplings come in 4 different lengths. There's the very close, there's intermediate, and then there's their standard length. So you can choose from all of those and pick the size that's going to work with your curves on your layout. And you can pick up a pack of 10 pairs like this one right here for $14.95. So that comes in at about £1.50 per coach. In addition to that, Hunt also offers a starter pack, which is an assortment of different sizes. So I believe in that one, they include 5 each of the close, the intermediate, and the standard length couplers. So one thing you can do is pick up a pack of those and keep them on hand and test fit your coaches and other equipment before you finally decide on which one to buy to install. And with that one, there are 15 sets. In this one, there are 10 sets. So different prices. I believe the other one is $19.95, so a little bit more expensive, but you're getting 15 instead of just 10 pairs. So all you have to do is go to their website, westhillwagonworks.co.uk, and take a look at the range that they have there. Basically then, you can choose between a KD coupling for straight track, number 18. I would go out to a 19 or 20 if you're going to go around tighter curves. For these, the Hunt couplings seem to be fairly well suited for most installation situations. You'll probably want to take a look at the Hunt couplings with a longer shank if you're going to be using these on, say, a number 2 curve a lot. And what I intend to do with my coaches is I will put the Hunt couplings between all of the coaches in a rake, and then on the end coaches, I will use the KDs. And that way the entire rake will be compatible with wagons and vans and the locomotives that have the KD couplers installed. One thing you have to be aware of too is that these things are not that easy to get apart. It is just a magnet, but they are super magnets. So you can push them apart, but as you can see, they're going to bang back together on their own. So it's not something that you're going to want to regularly have to do is uncouple these. So I'm not sure that they're going to work all that well in situations where you're going to be doing shunting and that kind of thing, where you need to separate the wagons, the vans, and the coaches from one another if you've used the Hunt couplings. Whereas you could use a mixture of the Hunt and the KD to work around that limitation. So this is a close-up of the Hunt coupling. So you can see the little super magnets right here on each end that are built into the plastic here. It's molded around them. And then it's got the NEM shanks right here. One thing you'll note is that although they do come apart, they will pop back together quite readily because those super magnets are very strong. So that's going to hold quite a number of cars without any problem. Now the only thing I really did not like a lot about the Hunt couplings was you've got this bare shiny metal exposed on the side. Now I think what I will probably do is take some black paint and just color that up so that you won't notice them as much. But you know, if you're looking at them from trackside, you will see that shiny metal in the coupling area there. So be aware of that. Let's take a look at the Hornby version of these coaches. So you can see that they are spaced quite a bit further apart when I use the number 18 couplers. So these are the number 18 KDs here. I can easily get my paintbrush through here, and so I don't think these would be a problem even on probably a number 2 radius curve. So let's take a look. This is with the Hunt coupling. You can see that it comes out identical almost. So they're about the same distance apart here. So these, you could probably go with the close coupling Hunt coupler for a lot of these, for a lot of your layouts, particularly on a straight layout. It's not going to be a problem at all. But again, as long as you've got a couple of pairs of each size, the close ones, the medium, and the long ones, you'll at least be able to test your new purchases before you go out and buy a lot of the close coupling version, for example, and commit to using that. So these are again, the Hornby version of these early coaches. And let me point out too, these do not compare at all to the Hattons Genesis coaches. It's amazing the difference between them. The detail on the Hattons, I covered this to a large degree in the review I did. The details on the bottom are just not, there's no comparison. So this will just give you a quick look. This is the Hornby version. This is the Hattons version. So much nicer detail. This center axle is carried on a little sliding mechanism, whereas this one, they just made the retainer clip here a little narrower so that the axle could move back and forth. Now, if we look at the ends of the two coaches, you can see that on the Hatton version, the steps here on the ends are separate castings that have been added, and the wire grab is separate here that's been added. On the Hornby version, the steps and the lamp irons are simply cast in. They're almost flat in the case of the lamp irons, not very prototypical looking, where on here they are completely separate castings and are standing off quite nicely. You can install a lamp on these. You couldn't on these. They do have separate grab right here, but that's about the end of it. The paint job is not bad. It's quite a bit duller. There's much, much more of a satin finish up here compared to this very flat finish on the Hornby coaches. But, you know, that's probably not that bad anyway, once you do a little bit of weathering to them. So, if you have a choice and can select to go with either the Hattons version or the Hornby version, I would definitely go with the Hattons version. Much nicer model, much more detailed, and you get much, much more for your money with these than you do with the Hornby. To go ahead and wrap it up, this is with the KD couplers, a number 18 KD in here, very, very tight close coupling. And with the Hunt close coupling version, again, you do have a little bit of a gap there, not too bad, and can probably take a number 2 curve. I'm not sure about that though. And of course, with your tension lock couplers, you have this very large gap in here, very unprototypical looking. So there's what your choices are. I'm sure there's others out there and available on the market that you could also try. Bachmann makes a close coupling device for their coaches. You might take a look at that. And of course, Hornby has their close coupling coupler that they provide with a lot of their larger coaches. So you have a number of different choices anyway. And I know that there are other companies out there that make other types of coupling devices. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a like if you enjoyed the video.